So you go out and you collect brood stock, and people think, all right, big, you want big fish?
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really. Sea trout live about 5 years, flounder about the same, but maybe a little longer. But if you grow them quick, they grow quick. We feed them well and vitamins and things inside the tank. So
how big a tank we talking?
The 6 I have are 18 by 5 foot deep, 18 foot in diameter by 5 foot deep. These tanks have lids on them with lights, so the photo and thermal cycles are controlled by us. So
day and night,
day and night, and the water temperature is basically done to mimic environmental conditions.
Right.
So longer summers, warmer water, shorter light for the winter, colder water, because flounders spawn in the winter. So it works out because we have a summer species. We've got one more run we're going to start of sea trout in the next day or two. That'll be our final one. And then we'll start conditioning and getting everything ready for flounder to strip spawn January, turn of the new year.
So y'all could pretty much mimic what's going on out there.
That's exactly what we're doing.
Yeah.
Making the conditions for what they need. And so flounder, and keep that in mind when we talk, so we're kind of a little bit about all the species. With flounder specifically, go out, collect the brood stock, bring them in, run them through a quarantine procedure. So you do your deworming, and then you hold them separated for 30 days to quarantine for parasites and everything. Once they've gone through the quarantine procedure, you then move them into their brood stock tank or wherever their next place is going to be. The biggest part of all this when you bring fresh fish like this in is transitioning them to eat, because normally they're eating their live feed and all.
Oh, not eat them. Eat
no, just eat your raw diet, your shrimp, cigar minnow, squid, whatever you're feeding them, but dead. So you kind of have to train them and work really hard to get them to learn to eat in a tank. And, you have your tricks along the way that we've learned. But after that, you move the healthy fish and everything over. You do things as you move them. You try and sex them. You pit tag them with numbers so you know which fish are which and everything about them. So
is there structure in the tank?
No. Everything's just an empty tank.
No, like
just plain empty tank.
Just swimming around.
The biggest thing.
No
about
sand
tanks,
for the. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, you can't really get involved with that with filters.
Right. So that's got to be a shock to the fish, right? Because that's not his environment. Right?
It is. It's not an environment, but fish really care about eating more than
that's all he cares about. Okay.
So if you get them in the tank and
you
train them to eat and be happy, and there's other fish in there, you've got them in there for one purpose: to be happy and to produce eggs.
Right.
So the structure doesn't really affect them.
Right.
3 squares.
No predators in there.
No
right.
predators,
So they're not
3 squares a week.
Well, they never knew structure from the beginning. So that's all they ever knew.
He caught them in the wild, right?
Yeah.
So they were
the broods. Yeah.
The breeders.
Yeah. And so eating. As long as you get them eating, they're happy. They're waiting at the window. Every feed, that's a happy fish. They're ready for you.
Okay.
And so you'd like to have your fish at least 6 months or more on site before you plan on getting any eggs from them. That way you can condition them to the tanks and everything, but just to get them into the cycle of wherever you're at the hatchery at that time. So once you get them in and you condition them and you get them on cycle for the sea trout,